A very good morning to my brave warriors of Gurukul English Medium School. How are you everyone? I hope you all are fit, fine and safe at home and did your best in exams with sincerity. Now kids, before beginning to portion, I would like to ask you, how was your Diwali vacations? Very nice. We enjoyed a lot. Had sweets, bursted crackers, did studies. Wow, that's great, my kiddos. It's very refreshing. After vacations, now we will study with full enthusiasm, keeping the motto in mind that learning a joy and teaching a passion. I welcome you all to the another session of EVS2 subject for second unit test portion with new life story learning of Shivaji Maharaj from lesson number 11 to lesson number 15. Students, we had learned in last semester about how many of brave Maratha Sardars who sacrificed their lives by defeating Mughals in the establishment of Swaraj. Same way, today we are going to learn about the failure or disappointing days of Aurangzeb's uncle Shaista Khan, that is in lesson number 11, the discomfiture of Shaista Khan. In spite of repeated efforts in which he left no stone unturned, means make every possible effort, कोई कसर न छोड़ी उन्होंने. Adil Shah of Bijapur could not force Shivaji to surrender. Every Sardar of Bijapur who was sent against Shivaji was defeated. Adil Shah at last gave up the fight, made peace with Shivaji and gave recognition. Recognition means identification to his independent kingdom. Shivaji thus had a peace for some time on his southern border. In the meanwhile, constant Mughal attacks from the north had practically ruined Maharashtra. Shivaji therefore turned his attention towards northwards and carried out raids. Raids means short sudden attacks in the territory of the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb. This enraged, that is, very angry Aurangzeb sent Shaista Khan, his uncle, to deal with Shivaji and teach him a lesson. Shaista Khan, with a huge army of 75,000 men and hundreds of elephants, camels and pieces of cannon, that is top, marched on Pune. On the way, he captured the towns of Shirwal, Shivapur, Saswad and finally laid siege to the fort of Purandar. Nothing could stop his advance, that is progress. But once the Maratha army surrounded him in a mountain pass, the Maratha troops moved very fast on their swift Bimtadi ponies, moving quickly on horseback. Kids, Bhimtadi pony is a horse breed in Pune district. They could traverse, that is, travel the hills and valleys in the shortest possible time. Because of their swiftness or quickness, on army rations, that is, food consisting of onions and bajra bread, this type of warfare perfected by the Marathas was unknown to Shaista Khan. Tired of continuous harassment by the Maratha troops, he at last raised the siege of Purandar. Siege means घेराबंदी or blockade. Firangoji Narsala was a Maratha warrior, military leader, Kiledar of Chakan Fort. Shaista Khan continued his march on Pune. First, he captured the fort of Chakan. Firangoji Narsala fought to defend, that is, protect the fort with great bravery and skill against the army of Shaista Khan. For 2 months, he kept Shaista Khan at bay, means prevented him from moving closer for attack. But he was helpless against the guns of Shaista Khan. Shaista Khan was much impressed with the way Firangoji defended the fort and offered him service with the Mughal emperor. Firangoji, however, refused this tempting, that is, attractive offer. Shaista Khan came to Pune and made Lal Mahal, Shivaji's residence, his headquarters. 1 year passed, then other year, but Shaista Khan would not leave Pune. On the contrary, means opposite side, his troops would raid Shivaji's territory, destroy crops and take away the cattle. In this way, he destroyed the surrounding countryside. At last, Shivaji decided to teach Shaista Khan a lesson. In a way, it was good that Shaista Khan was staying in Lal Mahal. Shivaji knew the place inside out with all its entrances and exits, its secret passages, doors and windows. Besides, Shivaji's spies, that is, detectives, jasoos, were keeping him well informed about the disposition, that is, nature of the Khan's troops. Shivaji therefore decided to enter Lal Mahal one night and kill Shaista Khan. This was indeed a very bold plan. Lal Mahal was so well guarded that even an ant would find it difficult to get through. 75 troops were campaigning, that is, living in a tent outside the palace. No armed Maratha was allowed to enter the town. But Shivaji had made up his mind. Kids, Shivaji Maharaj was indeed a brave man, and there was no one who could turn him away from his resolve, means his determined decision. A date was fixed to carry out plan. On the night of 5th April 1663, a marriage procession, that is, ceremony, Bharat, was passing along the streets of Pune. Kids, you might have seen in procession there are lot of people dressed in fine cloth with music, fireworks. Same way, there were hundreds of people followed the pattern. Some were in palanquins, others in menas, while many more were on foot. Shivaji, with his band of trusted followers, joined the procession to give the impression that they were a part of it. After some time, the procession proceeded on its way, but Shivaji and his men moved away quietly in the direction of Lal Mahal. Shaista Khan was fast asleep at this hour. बच्चों, आपने कहावत तो सुनी होगी, घोड़े बेचकर सोना. He slept like that Shivaji made a hole in the wall and entered Lal Mahal. He had no trouble in finding his way about because it was, after all, his own house. The Khan's bodyguards were half asleep. Shivaji's followers tied them up. Shivaji went deeper inside. Suddenly, someone rushed at him with a sword. Shivaji killed him. He thought it was Shaista Khan, but it was his son. His name was Buzurg Ummid Khan. There was a commotion, that is, sudden noise. Halla gulla hone laga. People woke up. Shivaji went straight to the Khan's chambers, that is, room, and took out his sword. Terrified, that is, fearful, the Khan started shouting, the devil, and tried to escape through the window. Shivaji struck, that is, hit him with the sword, which cut off 3 fingers of the Khan. Instead of losing his life, the Khan was lucky to escape with the loss of 3 fingers only. The Khan jumped out of the window and made for safety. To deceive the Khan's troops, Shivaji and his men raised the cry, Shivaji has attacked, run, catch him, and started to run themselves. The Khan's troops also started running in all directions. In the confusion that followed, Shivaji and his men made their escape and reached Sinhagad. The Khan's troops spent the whole night looking in vain for Shivaji and his troops. This incident took the fight out of Shaista Khan. He was afraid that if he lost his fingers in the first attack, Shivaji might cut off his head in the second. Aurangzeb was furious, that is, very angry, when he heard of this episode. Shaista Khan lost the emperor's favor and was transferred to Bengal. This was the first blow, that is, hit or jerk to the Mughal power. Kids, you might have heard about the movie, or some might have seen Uri the Surgical Strike movie. In this movie, there was an attack by armed terrorists and Indian army carried out surgical strike and won. Shivaji had successfully bedded the lion in his den. Gunfire announced the victory and a wave of joy went all over Maharashtra. I hope, kids, you all have understood about the disappointing days of Shaista Khan. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye. Take care. Hey kids, a very good morning to my shining stars of Gurukul English Medium School. How are you everyone? I hope you all are good and doing well. In the last lecture, we had studied about how Shivaji Maharaj had successfully bedded the lion in his own den. All over Maharashtra, gunfire and a wave of joy announced the victory. Kids, do you know when someone is appointed for a job, that person need to sign a contract at least for a year, so that it's assured about the confirmation of job between a person who need a job and who appointed the person for a job. That means employee and employer contract. Very good, kids. Can anyone guess what we are learning today? Contract between Shivaji Maharaj and Mughals. Very good. Partially correct, kids. So, today we are going to learn about lesson number 12, the siege of Purandar and the treaty with the Mughal emperor. Kids, treaty means a written agreement between two or more countries formally approved and signed by their leaders. Siege means blockade or gherabandi. After defeating Shaishta Khan by teaching a great lesson, Shivaji Maharaj raided on Surat. Raid means short sudden attack. After this triumph, that is victory, Shivaji did not sit idle. Aurangzeb's troops were laying waste the whole of Maharashtra, means destroying whole of Maharashtra. To bring the emperor to his senses, Shivaji carried out his daring raid on Surat. Surat was so far away from Pune that no one but Shivaji could have thought of this daring raid. As kids, we heard about Shivaji was a very courageous and brave man. Surat was then a great center of trade in the Mughal Empire and a very rich city. Shivaji carried out raids successfully and brought home a booty worth lakh of rupees. Booty means valuable things or money stolen by an army at war or by thieves. Shivaji did not forsake ethics in the raid on Surat. Forsake ethics means give up rules or morals. He spared means did not hurt or destroyed the churches and mosques. He did not show disrespect to women. The raid on Surat drove Aurangzeb into a furious rage, that is anger. He now decided to put an end to the Maratha kingdom. He ordered his great general Mirza Raje Jai Singh to humble Shivaji. With him, he sent his trusted Sardar Diler Khan to assist in the campaign, that is, fight. The two landed in the Deccan, that is, earlier Pune was known by the name of Deccan, with a huge army and unlimited funds. Swaraj was in real danger. Immediately after his return from the expedition, that is, journey of Surat in the year 1664, Shivaji heard a sad news of his father Shahaji Raje had suffered an accidental death while on a hunt. Shivaji and Jijabai were greatly grieved, means were in great sadness. Holding his mother close to his bosom, means mother's chest, Shivaji Maharaj consoled her. Purandar was one of Shivaji's big and strong forts. Diler Khan knew that Shivaji could not be defeated as long as he was the master of Purandar. He therefore laid siege to this powerful fort. He had a huge army under his command, where Murarbaji was in charge of the fort. Kids, do you know who was Murarbaji? Okay, I'll tell you. He was a determined, firm fighter who would not easily yield to threats, means not fear of. He was also supported by brave troops. With their help, Murarbaji decided to defend, that is, protect the fort. Diler Khan's gun went into action. Fury means looking like fire. Cannonballs began to drop on the fort. Murarbaji and his brave men held on means to hold. The first bastion on the Machi collapsed. Collapsed means break down under gunfire. Bastion means wall from which attack can be made in all directions. Diler Khan's troops captured the lower fort. The Marathas withdrew, that is, gone back to the upper fort and continued to fight. Diler Khan was watching the battle from his camp. Furious with rage, Murarbaji decided to attack the Mughal troops. With a select contingent of 500 men, contingent means group of people of the same country, he opened the gates of the upper fort, shouting their war cry, Har Har Mahadev! The Mavlas fell on the Mughal troops after a fierce, that is, strong battle. The Marathas routed the huge Mughal army which fled means run away towards Diler Khan's camp. Murarbaji followed them in hot pursuit. With his troops, he entered the camp of Diler Khan and wrought havoc. Wrought havoc means caused destruction there. The enemy troops were in flight and the Marathas in pursuit, that is, they were chasing. Cries and shouts filled the whole camp. In great hurry, Diler Khan mounted, that is, riding on his elephant and looked ahead. There was Murarbaji, hacking, that is, cutting the soldiers to pieces. His sword moved like lightning, cut throats, broke heads, and pierced the hearts of the enemy. Pierced means to make a hole in the heart. No one could stop him or hold him. Diler Khan watched in admiration, means praising manner, his great deeds of bravery. Seeing Diler Khan, Murarbaji asked his troops to attack in full force and himself advanced towards Diler Khan. Means Murarbaji moved forward towards Diler Khan. Whoever tried to obstruct him, means come his way, was cut to pieces. The Mughal troops at last surrounded Murarbaji on all sides. Just then Diler Khan shouted, Wait, hold back your swords. The Mughal troops halted, that is, stopped and moved back a little. Then Diler Khan addressed, that is, talked to Murarbaji. Until now, I have not seen a swordsman like you. Students, do you know what did he offer to Murarbaji by seeing his brave skills? Okay, let's hear their conversation. You come to our side. I promise you complete safety. The emperor will make you a sardar and reward you with a jagir. Kids, as we know, the Marathas, Mavlas were Shivaji's loyal people and they were not going to cheat Shivaji Maharaj. His eyes red with anger, Murarbaji said in return, We are loyal servants of Shivaji Maharaj. Who wants to buy safety from you? Why should we come over to your side? And who wants your emperor's jagir? He then moved forward in the direction of Diler Khan and again started attacking his soldiers. Diler Khan, who was seated in Huda, that is, sitting on a ride on the elephant's back, released an arrow which pierced Murarbaji's neck. Murarbaji fell to the ground. His followers lifted his dead body and took it back to the upper fort. What if one Murarbaji is fallen? We too are brave like him. Without losing heart, they begin to fight again with the courage. Shivaji heard the news with great sorrow. He knew that he could hold each one of his forts against the Mughal army for at least more than a year. But he was unwilling to do so at the cost of his men, who would die in the attempt. Shivaji Maharaj was very smart. He understood that he was not strong enough to fight the powerful Mughals. All his political skill was also of no avail, means of no use. There was only one thing he could do, and he decided on a temporary withdrawal, means to move back from the fight. He would enter into a treaty with the Mughal emperor. He went and saw Jai Singh. This was a very sensible and statesmanlike thing to do. Statesmanlike means a person exhibit or show great intelligence. He said to Mirza Raje Jai Singh, "You are a Rajput. You can understand our sufferings, that is, physical or mental pain. The emperor's fights have laid the country waste and people are in great misery, that is, sorrow. I have undertaken this task of establishing Swaraj so that people may be happy. You should join me in this challenging task. If you agree to lead us, myself and my Mavlas will be your trusted followers." Jai Singh was a shrewd diplomat. Shrewd means able to take quick decisions. Diplomat means a person who represents country. He persuaded, means convinced Shivaji to sign a treaty of peace with the emperor. Shivaji signed the treaty and handed over 23 forts and a territory with a revenue of 4 lakh ounce, a gold coin, to the emperor. The Treaty of Purandar was signed in the year 1665, that is on 11th June 1665. After the treaty was signed, Jai Singh suggested to Shivaji that to come to Agra and see the emperor. Emperor is the ruler of an empire. He also guaranteed Shivaji's safe return. Shivaji thought over the suggestion. He knew that the emperor could not be trusted. He had proved treacherous, that is, one cannot be trusted, to his own brothers, means he cheated his own brothers. But in the end, Shivaji decided to take the risk and face the situation as cautiously as he could. Cautiously means carefully he could. He informed Jai Singh that he was willing to go to Agra to meet the emperor. I hope, kids, you have understood in which situation and how treaty or agreement was signed with the Mughal emperor, and he left for Agra to visit the emperor. What happened ahead we'll study in the next class, as emperor could not be trusted. Thank you. Bye. Take care. Have a blessed day ahead, kids. Hello. A very good morning to my brave kiddos of Gurukul English Medium School. How are you, everyone? I hope you all are good and preparing yourself for exams. If not, start focusing on it. In the last class, we had studied about how Shivaji Maharaj signed a treaty of peace with the emperor to make his people happy, and he left for Agra to meet the emperor. Kids, as we all know, Emperor's words could not be trusted as he was treacherous to his own brothers. Can anyone guess what we are learning in today's class, kids? Yes, teacher. Shivaji escapes from Agra. Oh, kids, this is the part of the lesson. But the lesson which we are going to learn today is lesson number 13. Shivaji gives slip to the emperor. Now we got, teacher. Very good, kids. Slip means to get away from someone or to escape from someone. For example, the robber gave the police the slip. Putting his trust in Jai Singh, Shivaji left for Agra to visit the emperor. Before leaving for Agra, Shivaji handed over the administration of his Swaraj to his mother Jijabai and took her blessings. With him were his son Sambhaji Raje, some chosen Sardars, and a few trusted people. He also carried with him a large treasure, that is, very valuable things like gold coins and jewels. In due course, he reached Agra. On a pre-arranged day, Shivaji Maharaj attended the emperor's darbar. Young Sambhaji Raje accompanied him. It was Aurangzeb's 50th birthday. After finishing court in Diwan-e-Khas, that is, emperor's personal meeting room, the emperor entered the hall where the matters of state were discussed. In front of him stood his chief sardars in serial ranks according to their status. Jaswant Singh Rathod, whom the Marathas had put to flight on many occasions, was in the rank ahead of Shivaji. The emperor put Shivaji in one of the back rows. Shivaji became angry. After all, he was the king of the sovereign, that is, ruler state of Maharashtra, and his status demanded that he should be in the front row or rank. This was a deliberate, that is, planned insult, which he would not suffer lying down. Angry and insulted, he turned his back on the royal presence and made for his residence. He decided never to see the emperor's face again. The visit was thus a failure. The news of the incident spread everywhere. Aurangzeb ordered guards to be posted around Shivaji's residence. Shivaji Maharaj and Sambhaji Raje thus became, for all practical purposes, the emperor's prisoners. Shivaji understood the emperor's treachery. He realized that the emperor would never let him return to Maharashtra. Days and weeks passed. Then, one day, Shivaji Maharaj petitioned, that is, formally requested to the emperor for permission to return to Maharashtra. He tried again and again, but every time his request was turned down. Then Shivaji Maharaj made up his mind to escape from the emperor's clutches, that is, hold, come what may. To begin with, he obtained emperor's permission to send back to the south the persons who had accompanied him to Agra. The emperor was happy. He thought that Shivaji Maharaj would now be completely isolated, that is, alone. The only persons left with him now were Sambhaji Raje and the two servants Hiroji Farjand and Madari Mehetar. Soon after, Shivaji Maharaj pretended, that is, assumed or not real, to be ill. He complained of severe pain in the stomach. Doctors were called. They started treating the patient. Shivaji started sending out huge baskets of sweets to sadhus and Maulvis for his quick recovery. Maulvis means scholars of Muslim law. In the beginning, the guards outside would examine the baskets. In the course of time, they got tired of this daily routine and stopped it. Kids, why they were tired? As we do anything on daily basis, in same manner we get tired. In the same way, they were tired and stopped checking off the baskets. Now see what happened ahead. One evening, Shivaji made Hiroji sleep in his bed and asked Madari to massage his feet. Then Shivaji Maharaj and Sambhaji Raje hid themselves in two of the many baskets that were going out. The baskets were supposed to contain sweets and allowed to pass unchecked. At a place previously fixed, Shivaji Maharaj and Sambhaji Raje got out of the baskets. Their faithful servants were waiting for them, with the horses kept ready for flight. In the meantime, Hiroji and Madari left the house in Agra under the pretext, that is, excuse or bahana, that they were going to the doctor to get some medicine. The two of them risked their life and made a valuable contribution to the task of freeing Maharaj from imprisonment, that is, jail. The emperor came to know of Shivaji's escape the next day. He was wild with rage, that is, he became furious with anger. His sardars were frightened. The emperor sent spies, that is, detectives, jasus, all over the country to trace, that is, to find Shivaji. All the search, however, was in vain, means having no meaning. Once escaped, the Maratha lion was never again caught in the emperor's net. As we know Shivaji's bravery, kids, now you might have understood no one can keep him holding. He was a free bird with his own intelligence. Hence, he was called the Maratha lion. In disguise, that is, different identity, Shivaji Maharaj started towards Maharashtra. He left young Sambhaji Raje behind in a safe place at Mathura and in due course reached Rajgarh. Jijamata was overjoyed to see Shivaji safe and back home. 2 months later, Sambhaji Raje also arrived safely at Rajgarh. In this way, with great skill and daring, Shivaji gave the slip to the emperor and returned to the safety of his kingdom. This was in the year 1666. I hope, kids, you have understood how Shivaji Maharaj escaped from Agra and reached Pune safely by giving slip to the emperor. Thank you. Bye. Take care. Have a nice day, kids.